Welcome back to the Hobby Diaries. Spend a Sunday with me. As you can see, my desk is an absolute shithole and in need of a serious clean, but first things first, me and Zelda are getting our hot girl walk in. And of course, we got caught out in a nice icy downpour. Love it. Home, showered and dry, it's time to tackle the desk. I get a lot of compliments about how organised my hobby desk is, but let me tell you, it does not stay that way. Honestly, what on earth is going on here? But before I start any hobby session, I will always give it a good clean and tidy. Like, I cannot work in these conditions, but also my work creates these conditions. This lot is looking a little worse for wear, so it's time for the weekly brush scrub. Brush, soap and hot water at the ready. It's time to first tackle the dry brushes. And honestly, I'm a pain in the ass for forgetting to rinse them out when I'm done using them, which means the paint gets a little caked on. But it's nothing a bit of brush soap and a good scrub won't fix. Now, I'm under no illusion that these are going to turn out white again, but I'm pretty impressed with that. And now onto my poor size 1 orange brush. This is looking very sorry for itself. It is the most abused brush I own, but it's just so good. And while gathering my brushes up, I found this Game Envy one looking extremely neglected. But again, after a good scrub, it comes up as good as new. There's something so satisfying about a bunch of freshly cleaned brushes. Onto the hobby. Today I want to make a start on my Soulblight Skeletons. I feel these are going to feature heavily once a new book drops, and I want to get ahead of the game. So first things first, get them all primed and ready. I used the Army Painter Black Primer, and honestly I am loving it so far. While setting up to paint, I had what I thought was my new dry brushes turn up, but when opening the package I realised that Orange Brushes had sent me their entire bundle. As you can see here from my moment of confusion, I really wasn't expecting this, but I am extremely grateful, so thank you so much, Orange Brushes. I'm also kind of glad they turned up after I'd washed my entire brush collection, or that job might have been put off again for another weekend. Wasting no time, I thought I'd give the dry brushes their very first test drive, and I do have to say I was pretty impressed from the get-go. Look how smooth that is, beautiful. I switched to the size 2, the smallest size, to do some spot highlighting, and what a difference it makes. I had high hopes for the dry brushes after loving the normal ones, and I'm in love already. Continuing with my Soulblight scheme, I start off with some pallid bone for all of the bone areas, and then out comes the old favourite, murder scene, and this I'll use for all of the cloth. I then picked out a few edge highlights with white before going in with the broadsword silver for all of the armour. I've said it once and I'll say it again, I am so impressed with the Army Painter Speed Paint metallics. I wasn't sure how metallics would work in a speed paint, but these work brilliantly. For all of the little leather straps, I'm using dark wood. And there we go, using this scheme and speed paints, it took me a whole 10 minutes to paint one of these. I'm probably going to end up painting at least 40 of these, so I'm really glad to have a scheme that can be done quickly and look great on the table.